Chris here from Fader's Music in Brandon, Manitoba, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how we calculate our trades when people trade musical instruments in. So the cool thing about music stores in general is the ability to do trades. You have an instrument, let's say you have a guitar that you're sick of, and or you see a nice new one on the wall and you're like, oh man, I want that guitar. I could probably give up this one to get that one. And it's a very common thing that happens all the time, every week, if not every day at the stores here, and it's same at music stores all over the place, I'm sure. So it's one of them, because it's so common, we developed what we call like a trade calculator, which allows us to calculate both the estimated selling price of what you're trading in and what it can be, like how much value we can give you for it on trade against something. So the tricky thing for us is we want to make sure that you're getting a value that you're comfortable with, that you're happy with, a fair value for your trade in, all the while the store has to make some money on it when we sell it, and when we sell it to the next person, that person, of course, when they're buying a used item or a pre-owned item, they want to get a good deal on it, right? So we sort of have to find this balance. Basically, the way our calculator works is we find the new price of your instrument. Let's say you're trading in like a Fender Strat made in Mexico in the early 2000s or something like that, towards maybe an American Pro Strat or a Les Paul or something like that. So we find out the new price of what your equivalent guitar would be if it's been discontinued, equivalent guitar, and we put that in the top line of our calculator. Then there's a few questions, sort of a scale of 1 to 10 kind of thing, questions like a little bit opinion related questions, what the we don't get the condition of it and how fast we think it can sell and everything like that. And then we gives us a bit of a grade, which then spits out basically what the selling price range would be. So from that number, once we pick the right one out of the list, we stick that in the next field, and then we answer a few other questions, which is more how we're going to be selling it. Is it going to be sold online, most likely, or is it going to be sold in the store, most likely? And how much work it's going to take to get it, because if it's in rough shape and it's going to take a bunch of work to get it sellable, that sort of stuff. So now the selling it online versus selling it in store, part of the equation. When we do sell things online, it helps us sell things faster in a lot of cases, but there's a lot more fees involved, like online processing fees, obviously shipping, insurance, all that kind of stuff. So that does, if it's a very special, unique item that might be a kind of niche that might not sell in one of the stores really quickly, but it's more likely to sell online, we sort of gauge it based on that. So then that spits out the number that essentially is what the trade value is. So at that point, we have our numbers, but what we do is we want to make sure that we're accurate with those numbers. Of course, the very first step in the process, making sure that we know exactly what item you're trading in, based on the serial number, maybe that kind of thing. Usually we can just tell, but I mean, we make sure that we're looking at the proper item to start with. Otherwise, all the numbers below it are no good, right? So what we usually use is there's online marketplaces like Reverb.com. If you've got a Reverb account, you can look up items and then use the price guide, I think they call it, or I think they call it the price guide, and that gives you a range of what that item, let's say that mid-2000s Mexican Telecaster and Sunburst with the rosewood fingerboard, it'll tell you, if a lot of them have been sold, it'll tell you like sort of a selling range, not necessarily what people are asking for them, what they've been selling for. And then that tells us, that'll sort of confirm that we're in the right ballpark for what we think we're going to be able to sell it for, and that gives us the trade value and all that kind of stuff is the correct numbers basically. So we verify that, make sure that we're in the right ballpark, and then we present that to you who's trading in the item, and sort of, we're very transparent. We like to explain, we'll tell you what the numbers all are from top to bottom, what we're gonna sell it for, what we're gonna give you for it, all that kind of stuff, and why. So we do that as part of the explanation, and then if everybody's cool, everything lines up, everything is good, we discount the price of the new instrument by the amount of the trade. So let's say you're buying a $1,000 instrument and you're getting $400 for trade, which means your difference is $600, and then the tax gets applied to the difference only. And that's basically how that part of it works. And then once it's traded in, we usually put it in the guitar shop. If it's a guitar, I mean, we take all sorts of things on trade, whether it's an amp or a pedal or a saxophone or whatever. It depends on what the item is. And we get it all fixed up, cleaned up, photograph it, try to get it on the website fairly quickly, put it on the sales floor. So yeah, that's basically our process. So if you have any questions, feel free to send us a message on our website, faders.ca, give us a call, stop by the store, find us on social media. Be sure to like and follow us on YouTube for daily updates, and we'll hope to see you soon. Thanks.